All right, it is time now for the Get the Green All-Stars to take over once again here on the Dream Stream as we bring you guys home here on this Tuesday edition of The Sweat. Geoff Ulrich, DraftKings contributor. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, sir. I'm doing very well. Hopefully you're doing the same.
Yeah, I'm doing wonderful. Thank you. And we have you here now for some price check on the PGA Tour ahead of the one-time Palmetto Championship from Congaree Golf Club in South Carolina. So start us off here in the 9K or higher department.
Yeah, I mean, we got two big guns here, and then just kind of, it drops off a lot. But I am still of the opinion that, with the major coming up and some spotty form from especially from Dustin Johnson, that it's okay to look under these guys this week and maybe even just start at around 10K. I really like Harris English this week. This is a player who's from Georgia. He's from the southern United States. He's got a lot of good results in this part of the country. He's a player who's played over in Sea Island a lot of his career, he's trained there, not far from where the course is. And Sea Island is another course that's designed by Tom Fazio. I think that English is starting to pick up his play a little bit. You saw him gain over a couple strokes on approach at the PGA Championship, and he's been making cuts. Quite frankly, he's shown us a little bit more than Dustin Johnson. And we can't forget that this is a player last year who was basically top 10ing every week. If Harris English gets just a little bit of form back, I think it makes for a very attractive play in this kind of field. And also, one of Harris English's wins did come the week before the U.S. Open, the week before Major at the old FedEx St. Jude Classic. So all things considered, he's my favorite play above 9K this week. It's fine to pay up for Dustin or Brooks as well. These are obviously the class of the field, but I think that if you're looking for a little bit more balanced approach, Harris English is definitely where I would be starting.
Dude, what do you think the ownership is going to be on DJ and Brooks, the only two top 10 golfers in the world in this field?
Yeah, no, I mean, we could see someone push to 30%. I think the only thing that'll hold, some of these guys back from pushing over 30% in the big field GPPs will be the fact that there's two of them there. And there's really not that much sort of between Brooks and Dustin at this point. I mean, Brooks coming off the PGA, but people are a little bit scared about the knee, and perhaps he's going to look ahead. And then you've got Dustin just really hasn't shown good form. So I think you'll see kind of split ownership between those guys and Tyrell Hatton, quite frankly, because there's $1,000 difference on Hatton. So I think all three of those top guys will have over 20% ownership, but it's going to be pretty spread, which is good. It kind of just lends you to the strategy of just play who you like between them, because I don't think the ownership between those three will be vastly different.
Yeah, only four golfers north of 10K. The only one we haven't mentioned is Matt Fitzpatrick, but take me around the $8,000 range here, and who stands out to you?
Yeah, again, we'll have like a collection of popular plays in this range too. You've got Lucas Glover, who's like an ambassador for the event from this part of the country. Brant Snedeker, who's playing well, making a bunch of cuts. And then Harold Varner. I would probably prefer Varner of those three guys that I mentioned. I mean, he's from the state, from South Carolina. If you've kind of been keeping tabs on Harold Varner over the last kind of month or so, like his ball striking is there. It kind of comes and goes, and he's a little bit inconsistent, especially on the greens, but I kind of feel like this is going to be a good spot for him. It's a little bit longer course, so he should be able to just smash driver out there. And he's the type of player can get a little bit inconsistent in terms of accuracy off the tee, but I don't think that's going to matter this week with the lack of rough. And also around the greens could just play a little bit easier for him. So I really like HV3 this week. Again, I think he's got the best upside of those three guys I mentioned. And again, the ownership around those three guys and Alex Noren is going to be popular in this range. I just don't think it's going to be that big a difference. So you can kind of just play who you like, and you can look for lower owned plays to pair with them. Maybe a guy like Doc Redman, maybe even a guy like Scott Stallings, who's made like 6 cuts in a row now and is actually hitting his irons very well. He'll probably get you like 2 or 3% ownership, which is really nice. But as far as the best plays in this range, I like HV3. And again, I don't think there's going to be a big gap in ownership between any of those popular plays I mentioned. So you can kind of just play who you like here.
Yeah, Varner attempting to make the cut for the 4th straight tournament, which that's always important in DFS. Need those weekend points. 7K, man. Who do you like? Who stands out to you? We're starting to get into that value range. We're going to need it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you want to call the 7K range value this week. It's more just like close your eyes.
Yeah.
And just click a player, right? There's a couple good, chalky plays that, Vince Whaley will be popular down here. Maybe some people kind of drift down to, I don't even know. I think with Vince Whaley is going to be the chalk. Rafa Cabrera-Bello will probably get some ownership as well. But, I think this is where you start to look for the 5% ownership and perhaps even less guys. And Camilo Villegas is really interesting to me this week. It's a player who's his Bermuda putting splits are vastly superior to when he putts on other surfaces. And, again, we've got like champion Bermuda greens this week. Camilo's a guy who's had a lot of good results in this part of the country as well. Again, I mentioned that Sea Island, the RSM Classic. He was T6 there earlier in the year, another Tom Fazio designed course. He missed the cut last week, but again, I'm not too concerned about it. It's just not really a course I would have expected Camilo to kind of go nuts at. If you look at his past results, he's got 4 top 25s in his last 7 starts. That's good. He's shown that when he's on, he's got real upside. I mean, we've seen him kind of on leaderboards like into Sunday a couple times over the last, just over the last 6 months, really. So I think Villegas is playing well. I think his around the green game is good. And if he can get hot on these greens, which he's shown the propensity to do on these style of greens, I think he can do it. I think he can really pay off for a big week. I like going to him here. Again, not going to have to worry about the ownership at all. He's going to be, 5-6 probably max.
Yep.
A couple other names. I like Henrik Norlander. He's a very boomer bust play. I don't mind Seamus Power just under Camilo Villegas, but I think Camilo for me is really the guy I would pivot to off of kind of the Vince Whaley chalk.
Yeah, Villegas hasn't won since August of 2014, the Wyndham Championship. We've got a minute to go in this show. This is where you shine when I say, hey, under 7K. This is the Geoff Ulrich department. This is where the peasants feast, and you are a man of the peasants. Please help us out.
All right, let's just go right into it. I'm going to throw out this name, and then people are going to be like, what are you talking about, dude? But Luke Donald. Donald. I mean, it's the old guy season. Stuart Sink, Phil Mickelson. Donald's like under 40, so he's not even really like an old guy. But this dude gained over 8 strokes on his approaches at the Byron Nelson. He's been grinding to try and get his game back. Luke Donald is a very good putter as well. And I know this course is long, but if Donald hits his irons like he did in his last start, and that putter gets going again on just kind of tricky-ish greens against a weaker field, I think Luke Donald is very interesting. He's made a few cuts in a row now. Again, T13 his last time out, really striking the ball well there. I'm going to throw him out as my dart under 7K this week.